Hey everybody, including 99 Rock the Key listeners. This is Cap'n Kirk, and our newest podcast, just out, August 2019, is all about Ed Sheeran, who right now is the most popular musical artist in the world. In this podcast, we talk about Ed's early life and clear up to now. We play like 40 of Ed's songs, not just hits, which means we will be talking about the songs. And it also means we will be playing music and talking about his brand new album, Number 6, which is a great collaborations project. In this podcast, we have our original podcastee, Rick, and the other original podcastee, the beautiful and wonderful Kirbstop. And for an added plus, we have her brother Garrett here as a guest star. And as usual, right by my side is my best friend who happens to be a dog, Boston. So here we go. Here is the wonderful Mr. Ed.
Isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go.
Hey everybody, we're here for the Cap'n Kirk podcast. We're happy to be doing Ed Sheeran tonight because he has a brand new album out from July 12th. It's already number 1 in the world. So we've got our old podcastie Kirbstop here with us tonight.
Hi.
Her brother Garrett's hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
And Rick.
Yo, what up?
The famous innovator of the Cap'n Kirk Show.
That's right.
So let's get rolling. Click that song, Rick.
Clickety click.
Clackety clack. First song is One. It's pretty quiet. Does it sound loud enough, Mr. Rick? Usually we have our production manager, Mr. Porter, here, and he couldn't make it tonight, so Rick is doing it. How does it sound, Rick?
Oh, it's quiet. Nice and quiet.
Are you going to turn it up?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, so let's kick it off with how Ed, the most famous, he's actually the most popular music artist in the world. And we'll start at the first then. He was born. Oh man, he started out just like all of us. Right?
Yeah.
I bet he came out the same way we all did.
Yeah, he didn't turn out the same. I just want to be one of his friends. He's got some pretty big butts now.
Yeah.
He was born in Halifax, West Yorkshire. I guess that's England. It's supposed to mean something, but it didn't say England afterwards. All right, and so his paternal grandparents are Irish. As young as 4 years old, he started singing in a local church choir. And later on in life, his older brother is a composer, so there was music in their family. My notes are such I didn't write down what Ed's parents did. I thought I'd remember. Sorry.
Oh, we actually were looking that up, so I could fill you in.
Okay.
So his brother Matthew, who you were talking about, was the composer. His dad John, what did it say? John is an art curator and a lecturer. And his mom is a culture publicist, and she turned jewelry designer. So
After Ed started making lots of money.
Yes,
Sure.
it says his parents ran Sheeran Locke, an independent art consultancy, from 1990 to 2010.
Yeah. In fact, from what I've been
right
able,
up until the day he got signed, basically.
yeah, from what I've been able to say, one of the best things that he likes about the public life and making a lot of money is he's gotten take care of his parents and get them to where they can just hang out with him and not have to work and lead a good life. Later, we'll get into how anxiety has started kicking in, though. We'll worry about that later. So he was singing in the church choir. Right about when he was in grade school, he went to a Eric Clapton concert at Buckingham Palace, somewhere in the grounds. And he said Eric came out with a guitar, and another place in my notes it says what kind of guitar. So we'll talk about that later. But he just loved the way Eric played Layla. And so he was like, I got to be a guitarist. And he went home and bought for 30 pounds, which is what, 45, 50 bucks, bought him a black guitar, a knockoff like Eric's, with an amp. So it was a fairly low quality guitar, I'm guessing. And he spent a month trying to learn how to play the Layla riff. But that's how he got started with guitar. And he started writing songs a little before high school. And he had a girl that he liked back in the day from
Amy,
when
right?
he was 11.
Amy, I believe.
Um,
Amy Wage, I believe is her name.
No, who I'm talking about is when he was at age 11, he met a girl named Sharon, and they were like best friends all through clear till they got out of high school, and then she went to the U.S., and we'll get back to her. So he started writing songs. He was in the National Youth Theater. Anyway, we just played one. And are we on another song, Rick? You know?
Yes.
It's gone through a couple songs, I think.
No, this is the second one.
This is
that-
called I'm a Mess. Why don't you click to the next song?
Next
This is
song?
called Sing. This was actually a song that he thought should be a single, and then they thought, this isn't your style. So they had another one be a single, and then this one actually got really popular anyways.
I thought this one was about Ellie Goulding. I heard that.
I did not hear that.
Okay. Well, just me then.
Could be.
It seems very common to write about other popular artists these days to find your inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be going to see an Ellie in concert, but it's Elle King. I always get those two mixed up, though.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of trivia.
When are you going to that?
At the end of this month, she'll be with Hart and Joan Jett.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, that'll be
It'll
cool.
be a good show.
So, he got into theater. He was way into acting. And he was in the National Youth Theater. And then he wrote his first collection of songs. And he self-released them. And it was called Spinning Man. It's actually quite a rare collaboration. When he talks about it, he says, you know what? I made 20 copies myself. I burned them. And I made the covers and everything. And he says, and I've got 19 of them. And I don't want anybody to get the rest.
Whoa.
So they're pretty exclusive. And so then he did, he did a collaboration album before he ever even got signed. And it was called Number 5. So that's why this new one's called Number 6. And before he even got signed, I think he went to do a concert. And it was at, where was that? It was at Barfly, Camden Town. I think a Barfly. Anyway, it was free, but he had 1,000 fans show up, so he did 4 concerts so they could all see it. And then he got signed by Asylum Records. And then he had a single come out called The A-Team. Do you know that song, Kirbstop?
Sure do.
Do you?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, and I didn't know that song. I think I'd heard it,
Oh, yeah.
but when just the title, it was like, I don't know that.
Yeah.
And so I watched the video today, and wow, that's a really interesting video.
I don't know that I've watched the video.
And basically, it is about a young lady that to support herself, she has to be a street lady, and then she's on drugs. And it talks about, how she's got to go out with men to get her drugs, and it just shows, and it talks about her pipe. Ricky's over there nodding his head, distracting.
He knows all about drug problems.
Yeah.
I
know all about street ladies too.
Yeah.
Street ladies too. Are you forte?
Oh, yeah.
And pipes that street ladies use. In the song, it was talking about how she had to get bags so she could smoke her pipe, and then it shows her smoking crack. Pretty weird song, but very good.
I know, it is really good. It is an interesting topic for sure.
Yeah.
He's certainly not afraid to get gritty, is he?
No.
So this song is called Don't.
Oh, this is the one about Ellie Goulding. Sorry, my bad. My bad, everyone.
You should be. You should be ashamed.
Yeah.
I'm for sure about it. I'm not.
This is one of the songs where he kind of raps. I never realized how much he rapped, and this whole new album is mostly rap, and he's really good at it.
Artists, yeah.
And he actually said that he used to stutter pretty bad. And I wonder who it was Eminem, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right,
Yeah.
Kirby?
That's what we read earlier.
Yeah.
And he said that he would go around rapping Eminem, and then before long his stuttering problem was gone.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
What a way to fix your speech impediment, I guess.
Eminem will send in a bill here shortly.
He's fine.
Is that because his rapping's making you stutter?
Yeah, exactly. Well, now we know how to all solve that, so we just made Eminem one of the most famous doctors of our generation.
What?
He can solve speech impediments just
Oh,
with his
yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Come on,
Everyone's
keep up.
welcome.
Yeah.
I just thought he liked to eat M&Ms. I didn't know he had so much.
M&Ms could help with speech impediments, probably.
Maybe.
But this song is a good representation of how he raps. And this is early. This album came out in 2011. I did want to talk about his different albums. We skipped the 2011 album. I didn't have it. We're on the 2014 one called Divide.
Oh,
Basically, it shows the Divide song and X on the cover.
wait, that one's Multiply.
Multiply. What the crap? I gotta go back to high school and get my signs right. Divide is the next album. Yeah, this is Multiply. That's why we brought you here.
Yeah. It's the one thing I can contribute.
So,
Keeping all in our.
in our timeline, we're clear back on his Plus album. That's the one that came out in 2011. We're not playing any songs from it. We talked about the biggest one, which was the A-Team. But all that was on the cover of it was just a plus sign, but they call it Plus, P-L-U-S. Englishman. Did I spell that right?
You did. You done good.
Okay. Oh, it's so good to have you back, Kirbstop. I love your laugh.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So, yeah, he was signed. He did the album. A-Team kind of went crazy. He always loved Elton John. That was one of his influences. And funnily enough, Elton John runs his management team. So when the 2013 Grammys came along, then Elton wanted to get Ed a performance on that. And they actually said he's not big enough to perform on the Grammys. So then Elton came on and performed with him I don't know what song they did. At this time, Elton was just doing opening acts. One big band he did opening acts was called Snow Patrol.
Oh, I love Snow Patrol.
Yeah, and they've fallen off to the side. I saw a pretty neat single of those about a year ago
Oh, really?
where they were out in a boat singing. It was pretty awesome. And then there was another little act he fronted for. Her initials were TS.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Just a little artist.
yeah, and it was her little Red tour, which
Yeah,
he had
almost
actually...
like not a big deal.
No, not a big deal. And he'd actually even wrote a song for that album. And like I said, my notes are so
It's called
scattered.
Everything Has Changed.
There you go. Yeah. It's amazing all the songs he's wrote for people.
He wrote for One Direction too.
He did? Yeah, I know.
Love them.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Bieber's last number one, because now he and Bieber have a number one again, and it's only Bieber's second. I wouldn't be surprised if the other one was the one Ed wrote for him
Probably.
back in 2016. And the number one they have...
Which was what, Despacito?
No.
No, that's not
Sounds-
Bieber.
Sounds-
That's Yankee Daddy.
Yeah.
What's his number one song? Other than the one he's on right now.
I'm not counting Despacito as the number one for Bieber.
Yeah, 'cause
that's,
he just
that's
He just
He
redid.
just-
Yeah,
yeah.
Put the
he
English
like
parts of the already
tail-coated
Latin
that
song.
one. Coattails. That's
But I love that song, by the way, Despacito. And the video's amazing. And Camila Cabello is amazing. And she has a great new song with Ed we'll play here in a little while.
I listened to it. You're right. It's really good.
Yeah. It's not, I don't know if it's even been, he's released about 5 so far singles, and they're all doing good, and I don't even think that's one of them yet.
Wow, that's crazy.
He is pretty crazy with his single releases, and he does really good. He releases a lot, and they all do good. At one time, go ahead and click and change songs.
No, this is my favorite.
Okay, don't.
I'm just
What's the
kidding.
name of this?
Nina.
Okay, we
It's
can listen
so
to
good.
it.
No, we can listen to something else. This just like this part right here. It just kind of so he like uses a loop when he
Yeah.
does his songs, and just like the way that this one loops is really cool when it meshes, but it's not for a little bit.
Is her voice coming in okay, Rick?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know much? Good.
So this is the part where like the chorus is kind of mixed together, and he's singing both of them, and I just think it sounds really cool.
He's amazing. In fact, the album we're listening to, we're still back on talking about his 2011 album, but this album we're listening to, he wrote 120 songs for it
That's
in
crazy.
3 years,
Oh my gosh.
and then put it down to 12 songs. There was one other one if you got the deluxe edition, which I don't have.
Oh, is it the one that's from The Hobbit?
I'm not sure. There's a lot
I
of
see
things I'm
fire.
not sure about. But I am sure I really like Ed Sheeran. I mean, I know more about rock bands and stuff, but I don't care. I really like Ed's music.
He's
He's-
extremely talented.
Yeah, now here's a song. If you didn't ever hear this song, then you were stuck in the 70s and you never played any new music.
This was at every wedding, I think, that year.
Rick, was it at your wedding? He's nodding
would
his
be.
head. I love it, Rick. This is a podcast. Actually, they can't see you.
Oh, oops.
Do you have a mic, by the way? Can you speak?
I
He's
can.
shaking
I
his head. Yes,
can.
I love it. Well, you know,
That's why
Rick is
I,
doing our production, and he's not going to get to speak as much as other times. Bums me out, like I
Oh,
said.
it's a
Our production
bummer.
guy was busy. We miss him. Old Mr. Porter, getting older by the day. So yeah, this is Photograph. Great video, shows Ed growing up. Sweet. You know,
I've
shows
actually
him,
seen the video.
shows him young, shows him in his first gig singing, you know,
Wow.
Probably at the church.
Probably.
Probably his first guitar shots. It'd be nice if my notes were in order so I could tell you what guitar it was he bought.
Stratocaster.
There you go, Stratocaster. And Eric Clapton's, it was rainbow
It was a rainbow
colored.
colored Stratocaster.
Yes.
So we went and bought a black one.
Yep. You're doing good.
We're glad you're here.
You're
We
just
just-
like Therese. When Therese came once, she was on her phone helping me out. I like
Yeah, that's
that.
good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
All right. Well,
Helps
you
to
can
read.
drive up from Billings for our next podcast then, Garrett. You're in.
All I want's to guess me.
Great.
More costs
Oh, okay.
associated with the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, great. He's like, I rescind that offer.
We do not care how much the podcast costs because it's free to you. And we're doing it for you peoples and ourselves. I love learning. When I do a podcast, I love what I learn about these people. Even if I forget it all by the time I actually do the podcast.
So my question is, did you have the assumption or the prior information that he was homeless at one point and was performing more or less as a street performer?
No, but do you have that information?
So that was the
that's
thing
what
we were talking
I
about.
feel like he has some songs where he talks about how he doesn't have a home and
Yeah, like I
like
felt
he
like
living on the streets. Like I can't remember what song it is, but I for sure he says that. But
I
we
even-
didn't read anything
Yeah,
about
Well,
that.
he
Well,
was
there's
in a
not a
couple
single
of
thing
he was in a couple of different colleges of music,
yeah,
but
it
I
seemed like
don't
he
think
kinda
he
had a
ever
well-groomed
graduated.
progression, which
Yeah.
it's not to dampen his musical prowess at all. If he was groomed or was self-made, you kind of like that come-up story of
Came from
Rocky.
I'm sure he
that
was
Rocky,
self-made.
right?
Yeah.
He was self-made, so he
But I mean, if he was putting together albums on his own,
Yeah.
he was grinding no matter
Yeah.
what you want to believe. He it wasn't like he just got signed to a record label right out of music production school, right?
right.
He certainly had to go about the hard way, performing, whether it be small venues or on the street necessarily. We don't really know, but I just was curious that if you come across it, that was actually a thing because we read quite a bit, and not a single thing.
No,
let us believe.
I didn't ever see anything about him being homeless.
It seemed like he had well-to-do parents, like they weren't.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was. He probably knew how to live on the street.
I think maybe
I wouldn't say he was homeless. Had no money.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. I honestly think it was that thing where he got mad at, or he said something rude or nasty to Miley Cyrus, and that's where I feel like I heard about. Well, he's comes up from the street, so we can't really.
Yeah, but
That's weird.
at one point in time, everybody has to say something rude to Miley Cyrus,
Exactly.
even her dad, who
Is also number
right
one.
now has the biggest hit there's ever been. The
That's
one with
crossover.
the one with Nas X or whatever it is. That is now been on the Billboard 100 chart for 17 weeks, and that's a record. And they took that from Mariah Carey,
And Boyz II
And
Men.
Boyz II Men, One Sweet
Wow.
Day.
and so
That lasted that long.
Yeah.
The
That's so
consecutive number
old.
one record was held that long.
16
I remember when that
weeks.
song came out. I was way big in Boyz II
now
Men.
wait, so
back then.
Mariah Carey was with Boyz II Men on the song you're talking
Well,
about?
it was right after their big, those two big singles they had. I'll Make Love to You and what was the other big one?
End of the Road.
No, that was their. That was
By the
one-
way,
that was
while
their
they're
album.
thinking of that, this song is Bloodstream.
Yeah, sorry, not to get off of Ed Sheeran's
No.
course.
No.
It's just amazing that record had that.
It all ties together. The music industry's big. If they, Mariah's even congratulated Nas X publicly for taking the record, and she was thankful she had it.
Oh, on
Um,
Bended Knee.
I find it quite amazing. I mean, because it might be a one-hit wonder. We'll
Might
have
be.
to see with that guy.
Well,
Billy
yeah.
Ray? Or
Well,
Nas
No,
X?
Nas
Nas
X. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It's more or less like a goofy song. Like it's not like it's really like Mariah Carey's song was very soulful. And
Yeah.
it
But it was
held
also
that
about like good
touched the
content.
chord
Really?
forever. But Lil Nas X's song is pretty goofy.
Yeah, I don't know.
the thing is, though, is Rick was always on the Old Town Road. So there
Always.
was good content. You know, Nas X can probably find more to write about.
Probably.
He just needs to come follow Rick around.
Yeah, that's funny. We got minds alike.
He can write about your life. Rick. You're
Speaking of
welcome.
Kirbstop, she's been gone for a year because she did a little thing and had a baby,
Yeah.
which is not a little thing.
He's not little anymore. He's walking and grown up now.
Yeah, that's awesome. And his name is Harrison,
Yeah.
and I want to call him Harry. No, I want to nickname him Harris. Nobody else has done that, right?
Well, so I don't know if you guys know who Aziz Ansari is, but he has a nephew named, and they call him Harris. So that's the only reason
I just think
heard it.
Harris goes well with Harrison.
Yeah.
I think I've been calling him Harry.
Yeah. I like Harry
I
because
feel like I
love
don't-
Harry Styles.
Yeah, I feel like you don't like. It's not the most like nice thing to say to a baby. Like you're hairy.
No one
You want him
knows
a
who
little bit
Harry
hair, but like, you
Styles
don't want him like
is.
a hairy fur baby. You know?
I love that one song of
Real.
his. It's a couple years old. It was right when he split off from. Yeah.
Oh,
What was the name of that?
Oh.
And he, in the video, he's flying around.
yeah. The Sign of
Oh.
the Times.
Yes, great song.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Yeah.
His album was actually really good too.
Was it?
Yeah, it was good.
But we digress. So switch songs. We got to start moving through these songs faster. Now this was a single, Tenerife Sea. And I don't know. Do you know this song?
I do. I actually went and saw him in concert. So
You did?
that's when, yeah, he was doing the Multiply album. And,
Which was the X album,
yeah.
but I said it was the Divide album
Oh, yeah.
because I got way mixed up.
So, yeah. So he sang this song. And I actually wasn't very excited to go, but my sister was a really big Ed Sheeran fan. And then I left being like, oh, I'm so stupid. Like, that was an amazing concert. He did amazing. And just like what he does with the loop pedal is just unreal. Like, it's just the coolest thing I've ever seen. 'Cause it's just him on the stage and it's still so good. You would think you would be bored or something, but he like just wears jeans and a t-shirt and just plays his music.
I've got all kinds of data, but it's scattered. But what I can say is for a solo artist, I believe he's sold bigger arenas more. His one tour, I'll probably see it later, but it grossed more than any other solo artist ever has. It was probably the Divide tour, but it could have been the X tour.
Oh, I think we read it was
Yeah,
Divide,
I'm
but
sorry.
the
I
X
mean-
tour was so good.
He's sold 150 million records in a time when most people aren't buying records.
You can just stream it.
Yeah. And I'll find it here in a while, but when X came out, he broke a record on Spotify for the most downloads in a day, and then it totaled, and for the year he had the most downloads. But it was only like 8.5 million. Okay, now skip forward a few years and he just broke a new record with this new album, and it's something like 8.5 billion,
That's so crazy.
you know? I
Yeah.
mean, and that just shows you how our times have changed. I still want CDs, I want to hold them in my hand, I want to read the stuff.
But if you have a CD, like they can't track how many times you're listening to it, you know what I mean? So like, yes, the way we listen to songs is different, but also the way we're tracking how we listen to music is different too.
Well, and like that's, I mean, something we were talking about, just my friends and I the other day, is like the 80s, 90s, right up until the end of the 90s was right before the internet age
Click.
takes over for
Keep going.
Napster and, you know, digital music and ripping music was really becoming the thing. And it took 20 years to figure it out, what the industry was going to do to take advantage of what we were doing. You know, we think we're getting one over on them, they're just figuring out how to still make money off of it. In this case, they're probably making more, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about Taylor Swift.
Putting out
Because
stuff.
she actually took all her stuff off Spotify and said none of us are getting paid what we need, and Spotify had to fix it. And then she put her stuff back on. She
Yeah.
fought for everybody. Everybody's like, oh, she's so dumb. She's not on Spotify. No.
She was
Taylor's
fighting
one
for
of
the
the smartest people in the industry.
And
And Ed Sheeran is one of her best friends.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
well, they're about the same age, I would assume.
Click it again. I don't even know the name of this song. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, peoples. I'm an old rocker, but I listen to new music. I love Ed Sheeran. Do you know this song? I think it's The Man.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it.
He's
It's not
rapping. Switch to the next one. I think we're going to recognize it. I'm just thinking out loud, though.
Boom.
Oh, could it be Thinking Out Loud?
Another big wedding hit.
I can't tell you. I was blown away. I watched some kid sing this in a karaoke bar one day. And
Is the music coming through loud enough, Mr.
how
Rick?
much it touches other people, you know. And even him, I was just like, oh my gosh, this kid's voice is amazing. You know, just the original guy to write this song turns on so much positivity.
It's
Shows
crazy.
off people's talents, you know.
Kirbstop, tell us about this video.
So
Dancing.
yeah, they're dancing.
Classical dance.
Is he dan- Is it him?
Yeah, it's his
Who's
first.
dancing
It's the first video he danced in.
with? Yeah.
Oh,
Really
she.
pretty girl.
That's who it was. A really beautiful, pretty girl. And my notes suck.
I
So
can't.
her last name is Dushnay, or
I don't even know about this.
I can't say her last name unless I read it. I love it. I knew this was gonna happen. I tried to get my notes in some order, but they weren't. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
It's just cute though, like just dancing. It's so sweet.
well,
This is
and
very much
she
that song, right?
Yeah.
she was
What else you gonna
dancing.
do? You're not gonna go juking and jiving. This
You got it both.
Let's see. I'm just thinking out loud. What's the name of the song? Oh, Thinking Out Loud. I just love. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This would have been a #1 song because it sat at #2 forever, and it had a stupid song called Uptown Funk
Ew.
Right in front of it.
by Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars that sat on the charts for like 7-8 weeks,
I don't even
which
like
pisses
that song.
me off. Just like the song Happy pisses me off. And I'm a happy person.
Yeah, that song's annoying.
I don't want to talk about that. That'll make me unhappy. But anyway, who was he dancing with? That should be right there.
Sorry, I
Oh,
can't help you.
Yeah, I know.
my notes. I was sure it was going to be there. We might cut in and cut this out. Here it is. We don't have to. We're live, people.
Now I'm gonna be able to
Her
Google
name
her. Thank
is
goodness.
Zoe Duche, I believe is how you say it. Okay? And she's an actress, and she is beautiful. I should have looked up what movie she's done. I'm ready on another song with a different actress that is in one of his videos. I'm ready. When
All right,
get
we
to
got
that
this one
song.
all lined up.
All right.
I love this song.
Tell us the name of it.
I don't know, but it's about the old people. What is it called?
A Fire.
Oh yeah, a fire love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has like a chorus in it, like a kind of
Is
sounds
she
like a
coming through
church.
okay, Rick?
Sounds kind of like
Sorry.
a church chorus.
Yeah.
And it just sounds so cool, but it's towards the end a little bit.
And unfortunately,
Yeah. It's
we
like
are
this-
going to have to switch to our next album.
Oh.
So figure out how to do that. We were on Multiply and we're going to go to Divide. This one on the cover has a divide sign, but it actually writes Divide too, so people like me can figure out what it is. And while Rick figures out how to switch, I'm going to figure out why my notes suck so bad.
This is probably
Okay, back to 2015. Guess what song he wrote for Beeb? Love Yourself. It was his #1 song. I bet anything.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah, because I know that song and I'm not a Beeb fan. But Beeb's new song with Ed is awesome. We'll get to it in a while.
I totally agree with you. To be.
Okay, eventually Divide will start. You might have to push play after you push switch.
See, now this is a touchy one for me. This is when I was going through my divorce. So these songs were really, really strong in my life.
Do you know the name of this first one?
No. There's the one in particular I'm waiting for. But I'm actually not an album guy.
Well, I had never heard this song. It's called Eraser, but it's really good.
Oh, this song is really good.
Yeah.
You would like this song too.
Yeah,
So now we're to 2014. If I had more notes about before that, I've lost them. But he came out with his new album. No, now we're to 2017, Divide.
Yeah.
And there's definitely more songs on it. When I became an Ed Sheeran fan, was Shape of You.
Oh yeah, it's a good
And
one.
Castle on the Hill,
Yeah,
which
that's-
came out the
that's
same week. And I remember going skiing, and Shape of You was already big on the radio, but Castle on the Hill wasn't yet. And I was like, I discovered a new song, you know.
2 weeks
And
later, it's
it
number
was
2.
it was on Sirius Pulse 15, which I listened to keep ahead of the curve. And it didn't take long though, and it followed suit. I got tired of it easier than Shape of You,
Me too.
but I did love Castle on the Hill.
Yeah, that's his
I
favorite
still
song.
love it, so I could listen to it on repeat. I'm good.
Yeah. It's okay.
So this highlights the way he raps, and I really like his form of rap because I can understand it.
Yeah, and you can kind of like learn it and rap along, and instead of
Yeah.
like they're too fast or you have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah, because I'm kind of a hillbilly, and people have to talk slowly for me to understand it. All right. Tossing that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's how you dance to that.
Back when this
That is
album
it.
came out in December, Sharon, by the end of 2017, so this album had been out part of the year, Sharon was named Spotify's most streamed artist, and he'd been streamed 6.3 billion times. And this album itself had been streamed 3.1 billion times. Now there you go, there's the proof. They do know the numbers of how many times people have clicked on it and
Yeah.
listened.
I mean,
I just
how
think
many
that's-
times go through the
But
whole
see,
album?
they can't keep track of me and how many times I've
Exactly.
listened to Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple,
You're like
which is
5 or
not
6 times
my
a day.
favorite song of theirs.
What other song is there?
What other song?
Oh,
Don't even get
me
him
started.
that's it. You've done it now, boy.
Great.
By the way, I have a Facebook page called The Cap'n Kirk Show, and that Facebook page just put out a fantastic post about Deep Purple, and only 4 years of Deep Purple, so just their hits from a 4-year period, because they had so many different carnations of members. So I just focused on what's called Mark II.
Mark
That-
II.
The people that were in the band during Smoke on the Water. So I only focused on 4 years of songs, but they're still putting out new music. They're my most favorite band because their new music is up with the times.
They're
I'm going to a
still
concert.
reinventing themselves as
Oh,
they go.
oh
What's your
yeah.
favorite jam?
I know it's hard to concentrate.
I don't know who this is. What band are we listening to?
This guy's got a
song-
great voice. Who is this?
I love this song. I mean,
it's just hard to like say, like explain it, but like the angst in his voice is just very unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't know anybody that comes with that kind of version of that.
Yeah, and like still like
It almost shouldn't be pretty, but it is.
like
This-
this part.
This video, it's kind of neat because it actually shows him walking along, looking back. So there's child actors doing the things that he's talking about.
Falling
So
down
I
and breaking
like
his
that.
leg. Like just you don't have to think about that one. That's very in your face. Everyone's kind of been around. I broke my little sister's collarbone playing with her once, like everybody's a dumb kid and breaks their bones. Like the parts where he talks about coming back and all these people and what they're doing and how kind of some of them aren't doing so well, but
Yeah.
he still loves them anyway. Like how touching is that?
Yeah,
I really think
like
that's,
we all
that's
have friends
awesome.
like
Yeah.
that who like just
That's what I mean. That's why
Don't meet
he
expectations.
wins, is because he knows how to write that we all can relate to.
yeah, relatable.
I want to drop back to 2015 a second while we're listening to this song and just say that he did 3 summer shows at Wembley, and of course those would have been like 80, 90, 100,000 people at each show. And NBC actually aired a 1-hour special called Ed Sheeran Live at Wembley Stadium. I wish I would have saw that, but I didn't. I wasn't on NBC that day, but I thought that was pretty cool. And so I'm going to toss this piece of paper. Now, hopefully we're to 2017 in my notes.
I didn't realize, now that I know that him and Ellen are such good friends, the nice plug that he does for Ellen. Talking about Tiny Dancer.
Oh yeah.
What is the plug?
Well, singing about Tiny Dancer.
How
It
tiny
just seemed like kind of a random song to talk about singing,
She was
like
only
not that it's
4
not
foot.
good, but,
Yeah.
10. Just kidding.
but I think he's throwing his buddy Elton a bone there now that I think about it. Still a good song, just saying.
Tiny Dancer.
Well, let's talk about his influences. When he grew up, he loved Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, Elton John, and then, of course, he loved Eric Clapton. He also liked the Beatles, the guy named after M&M's, and Ms. Loppy. What's that? Anybody heard of that? All right,
No idea
scratch
what
it.
That was the one I did not recognize myself.
Okay. Okay. So let's click to the next song. This one's called Dive.
My sister loves this song. It's good.
I'm letting it play a second to see if I've listened to these albums, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
Sometimes it's hard to remember. It's been a while actually since I've listened to this album in particular.
Maybe I played my cards wrong. Oh, just a little bit.
Very good.
Baby, I
Rick is adding to this by bopping his head up and down to this song.
Rick also loves this song.
Click to the next one because I love this next song. This song, although I'd heard Ed Sheeran and all of his other hits, this song
Still
got the
good.
Cap'n
Yeah.
Kirk going.
Yeah.
And when I saw the video, oh my gosh,
I actually didn't see the video.
are you kidding me? This video's had 2 billion downloads.
Oh, I'll have
And
to look at it.
it is, I hate to do a spoiler for you, but I'm gonna have
No,
to.
wait!
I have to. La 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 la. He goes into a boxing establishment where they're learning how to box, and he's got his bag and he's starting to learn how to box, and there's this hot lady.
I've
It's like
seen it
Fight
now.
Club.
I've
And
seen it now.
she is a boxer and she's in shape, and that's what this means, shape of you. He's fallen in love with the shape
Yeah,
of her.
it was
This-
kind of like their
This lady
UFC
can
fight
bend over and have her head touching the floor, going out behind her legs. And he's like looking at her like, wow, I want to be in shape like you. And she's boxing and just a great boxer. Shows him practicing boxing. He's getting pretty good. And then they walk out together, they start dating, they're getting along, and then one time he goes to his locker, she's left him a note and something, and it looks like, no, and she leaves, and he's all bummed. Well, his buddies set him up with a fight, because this is a story video. He goes in, he's all ready to fight. They put him in one of those fat sumo suits. And he's going against a real sumo wrestler. I can't remember his name, but it says it at the end of the video. And the guy just stands there, and Ed runs up to him and just flattens out. And Ed can't do his punching. It's kind of funny because he can't do his punching. But then that guy starts body slamming him, beating him up, and Ed's like dead on the ground. And then that lady comes in out of nowhere and boots that guy in the face, and he's down. And then the video ends, and I'm like, no, you don't end it here.
No happy ending?
Ed and her have to walk away together. And then it actually shows him on the floor. Everybody's gone, he's still on the floor. But
So he is dead.
Well, he's like a turtle on his back. Yeah. So I ruined the video, but you gotta watch it. I love story videos, like the one about Rick, how he always nods his head because he thinks he can see him.
We did decide we need to like start a YouTube video, like a YouTube channel for our videos, so we can just see Rick.
We do have a YouTube channel for our
Just get a
videos,
camera going.
and we have had a camera going before, and our production guy had those videos going, but by the time they were showing anything, and then he would put them in fast motion. It was actually kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't think anybody made it that. Our most popular channels are iTunes.
Naturally.
Although our Tesla YouTube video is pretty awesome.
Wait, you have a Tesla?
Tesla was our band we did.
Oh. I was like,
No, we
sweet,
don't
I was
have
your
a
Tesla.
You can go downstairs and see my Mustang.
I
It's
did see
cooler
that.
than a Tesla. Gee.
Is that a 67?
6.
It's a 6.
But it's a convertible.
Is it all original too?
Yeah.
That is, yeah, incredible.
Oh yeah.
Our parents have Mustangs.
They're, yeah.
But we're not
They're
here to
insults
talk
compared
about
to his
cars.
car.
I actually bought it so my kids could drive it to high school and try not to total it. But I thought it'd save me money over buying a new car.
How many
Which it
miles does
did.
it have on it?
I don't know. It's probably turned over. They only went to 100,000 at the
Gone over
time.
a couple times?
No.
Maybe once?
It didn't have that many owners, and one of them was a real old lady.
Cool.
No.
Sorry to keep going.
Yeah. We'll scratch it off. No, really we won't, because that'll mess up our music. Now we're on Perfect. This song's pretty awesome. I think it might have 4 billion downloads.
Well, then he did that one with Beyonce too.
What one was that?
Well, it's this song, but she's on it.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so that one probably got a lot. She's got a big fan base.
She has an army. If you didn't know.
The Bay Hive.
Yeah. Queen bees will get you.
So this video is pretty awesome because I picture it like it's his old girlfriend. And like they've gotten back together, which is in real life what happened. After she went to the US to live her life, he had to stay in Europe to make his song career go. Because everybody knows England's got way more per volume of great song people. And I don't know why. But anyway, somehow, after he'd had a couple of big girlfriends and everything, but nothing worked out, he started dating his childhood friend in 2015, and then they secretly married.
Oh, they are married?
Yes, and they said they
thought they were
weren't.
engaged.
There kept being rumors.
Yeah.
But just on July 12th, when this album came out, his brand new collaboration one, he said, guess what? We really did get married. There were 40 people there. It was at a church at his place he lives.
That's so sweet.
And so they're married now.
Oh, Like,
But
I'm
I
gonna
picture
cry.
this video as about his girlfriend because she's so perfect. He's figured out his wife,
This is his John Legend song, Chrissy Teigen.
and
Yeah.
and anyway, he goes skiing, and she's got all these guys around her that are, I'm assuming, good-looking guys. I don't get drawn to good-looking guys, but they look better than Ed to me. And she's paying a lot of attention to him, and one time he walked, they've all gone together to the ski resort, and he's teaching her to ski, but one time he's walking away as they're at a bar partying, and he's outside and she sees him go out, throws a snowball at him. They do snow angels. It's a beautiful video. I can see why it's got like 4 billion downloads.
Yeah. It's a really pretty song.
Yeah. But the next song has a great beat. Let's get to it. And this song is somewhat of a hit, and I had not heard it. It's called Galway Girl.
It's very Irish.
Yeah. And I'm going to find my notes.
Back to rapping.
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
probably a tribute to his dad and grandparents.
Oh yeah.
It's like more of a dance up in here.
This song is about a Irish girl. She played fiddle in an Irish band, but fell in love with an English man. And then she beats him at darts in a pool, and she's all kinds of fun. And it's Cerise Ronan, and she's a beautiful girl, and she played in the movie Hannah, in the movie Lovely Bones. Any of you seen those?
I've seen The Lovely Bones.
Yeah, I don't know that I know this girl.
Hannah was just awesome, and she's done a bunch of stuff since, and she's won all kinds of awards. One thing you find out, Ed's got a deep friend base.
Yeah, he knows everyone, and everyone loves him.
Yeah, but this video, she just seems like, wow, I want to run with this girl. You know, she's fun
Is she the main girl in
in the
Lovely
videos.
Bones? No, but like
yes,
in the Lovely Bones?
yes, she is, and that's back. You know, that's an older movie now.
Yeah.
And I would say
she's
Hannah
pretty young
was,
in that movie.
yeah, and Hannah was from then.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool. Her dad trains her to be a, not terrorist, trains her to go out and kill people that need to be killed. But as she's young, they go hide in the forest and live in the forest, and he teaches her all the things an assassin, that's the word,
Oh, yeah.
an assassin needs to know. You know, bow and arrow, all this stuff. Cerise Ronan's pretty deep I read a little bit about her, but of course, I forgot it all by now. I cram for these podcasts. Some days I do better than others. That's why I'm glad you guys are here today. That anytime you got something to say, right, Rick? He's been so talkative.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I want a word in edgewise. Jeez. But Galway Girl, that's the first thing I thought when I heard this. I'm like, this is Irish. And it's awesome. Yeah. Well, click it. Let's get to a happier song. Can there be a happier song?
There can be.
Only if it's called Happier, which this one is.
But it's also kind of like, I mean, it sounds
Yeah,
not
it's kinda
happy.
slowed
it's like
down.
kind of sad.
It was more somber.
Yeah. Somber.
It sounds
That's
so
a good
sad, we're going to have to click it. It's too slow for us.
Come on, Rick, give us the fast stuff again.
Rick, tell us something. Tell us something we need to know, Rick.
His mic's probably not even hooked up. Yeah, it kind of was.
I mean, and
And I'm not a fan of her new stuff.
I
Do you
am.
like them? No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't. I feel like they're so childish.
Oh, I have to watch the
You don't even
videos.
like her new one. You don't like
I know.
I have to watch the videos where she's quite a vixen.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah,
love
you
it.
hate Taylor Swift. She's ugly.
Yeah,
She's
oh yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, and her legs.
They're so short and stubby.
Yes, there's the word I was looking for, because I don't look at her legs. That's like I told my wife, I was telling her, man, in your young days, you had the best legs and they went clear up to your butt. She's like, yeah, I know.
That's what happens before children.
Yeah. My wife's got a really hot picture of herself sitting when she was a teenager and I was dating her. Well, yeah, I think we were dating. She was sitting on the top of my car. It was a Chevy Vega, known as the worst car ever made in the world. And she was sitting on that with like a hillbilly hat on and cut-offs. Wow. I still can't believe it.
Aw.
Beautiful
Brighten up that
picture.
ugly ass car.
Yeah, she made that car look good. Oh, it was good looking. It was a
We'll have
Spirit
to
of
beat that.
Spirit of
That out.
America version. All right, we are on to Hearts Don't Break Around Here. What? I know plenty of hearts that break everywhere.
Yeah, especially Rick's.
All the
Rick
time.
is full of
Been
broken
broken
hearts.
a few times, huh?
He's broken many women's hearts. And I think he's clicking. Click it, Rick.
Click it or ticket.
Yeah. This is a song about me. It's called What Do I Know? It's actually been documented on TV that I don't know much. And that really pissed me off. But that's what I said. I told my whole family, hey, I'm going to be on TV. They interviewed me about a mayor. And my whole family happened to be in town. It was like on Memorial or 4th of July. So we go to the Channel 8 and then finally I come on and I go, I don't know much. And they literally stopped everything else I had to say and cut it. And
That was when you got put on the news saying?
My family laughed so hard. And later they had me come back on and say stuff. I later saw that lady. I go, why'd you do that to me? She goes, that wasn't me. It was the editor. And I was like, oh, whatever. But it ended up. But I love it because I like, after I got over, it's like one of them things you look back, wow, that's funnier than hell. Documented that I actually don't know much.
Put that on YouTube.
Yeah, I wish I had that video because I had it on my DVR for a couple of years and then switched and it's gone.
I need that.
Yeah.
Because that literally would be or you could plug it into your videos. Just everywhere.
I just
the
did
intro.
the DVR onto my CD or my DVDs like last year, so I'm still into doing that.
Oh my gosh, you're 14.
This is probably supermarket flowers. I don't know.
No.
Is this still How Would You Feel?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or is it, oh, this is What Do I Know?
Yeah.
That's what I don't know much.
I don't know much.
Yeah.
That's right. Click it. How Would You Feel? It's called the next one. And I don't know. How would you feel if we just click it again?
Oh, it's okay.
And
We all know that these are beautiful songs.
They are. There's not a bad song on it, but we just have got to get to his new album. That's the big deal. So this is Supermarket Flowers.
Oh my goodness, this one makes me cry.
We can't have you cry.
I know, it's so tender about his
It's so
mom.
tender.
Aw.
Click it.
No Kirby tears.
No tears! Kirbstop.
Kirbstop here. That's her name.
Kirbstop, dude. Not bad. What's my name?
You?
Kirbstop's brother.
Oh yeah, you don't get a name.
Oh,
You're
Miss-
not gonna
you're not
get
giving out
We're
your
gonna call you
identity.
Billings.
DJ.
I'm B-Town.
So this is I think this is an extra song called Barcelona that mine has. Because there's a line drawn here, which means some people didn't get it maybe.
I've been to Barcelona.
Ooh.
I love that city. Did you like it?
Were you there? Were you the inspiration for his song?
Oh, heck yeah.
Awesome. That's a good story.
Good. Click it.
You should have started with that.
And this is
Holding out on us.
Bibya B Yay Yay. Wow. Oh, that's how you say it.
This one's fun. I feel like this is like what they dance to in Rio. It kind of reminds me of the movie Rio, actually. Anyone else?
We'll do a little trivia then.
Ooh, I love trivia.
On this album, but it's not Trivial Pursuit.
Oh.
So you don't get to answer the question. I'm going to tell you the answer.
Oh.
He had 10 singles from this album, and they all made top 10 on the UK charts, which broke a record. And that's why I'm telling you about it. And the record's broken, so I couldn't bring it to the podcast and show you. And there's that other trivia. His tour was the highest grossing tour of all time by a solo artist. And what was the number? I didn't write it down because I was sure I'd remember it.
It's a big number.
It was big number. Cap'n Kirk doesn't know much. All right. We need to get to the new album. I'm ready. I'm
Let's
ready.
do
All
it
right,
to
see,
it.
now I feel like I'm better than you.
Get to that new album.
Because I actually
Meanwhile,
like
we'll talk about Sherry. What's her last name? Sherry. I wrote it down somewhere. Sherry Seaborn.
Yes, that sounds right.
And, you know, he has a $2.4 million estate, which isn't that high of a price. But he bought it in a pretty secluded place so he could have a really nice secluded place
He just
to go
bought out his
to.
neighbor.
Yeah, he bought all the houses around it, and he's got the house in the middle.
This is
So
my
now
favorite.
we're on to their new album and Kirbstomp's favorite
Oh, yeah.
song in the world, at least this week.
This week,
And it is called,
Beautiful People.
and who's the featuring?
Khalid.
Good, because I didn't know how to say that.
I
I
love
would call
him.
it Khalid.
I always call him Colin.
No.
We're
DJ
going to call him
Khaled is
Khalid.
so
That's 2-1. We win.
He's so talented
I feel like Kirby's
too.
probably.
He's
better than
only
this one.
19.
What?
No way.
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Oh my God.
His first album came out before he even graduated.
But he's a rapper, so I don't know him.
Oh,
This guy.
you should listen to his songs.
Yeah.
I like this one.
We might
You
be
would-
doing our next podcast on Kirby.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
we might.
He's so good.
But I'd rather do it on Camila Cabello.
Oh, she's
Okay.
hot.
I would.
Yeah.
I will not
Yeah.
stop
And her legs go clear to her butt. Very
Not
nicely.
everyone's
you. I hear
legs go
Shawn
to the
Mendes
butt.
takes exception to that. This turn go.
That's actually really weird because, yeah, she's got 2 great hits out right now. The one with Shawn Mendes and the one with... Should we switch to it or do we need
Yeah,
to
we
listen to
can.
it? Let's switch.
This song is so
But
good.
this is a great song. All you beautiful people out there, if you haven't heard it,
For it's
And
actually
actually,
it's actually
if-
for the unbeautiful people.
If I could say, yeah, have you seen the video? For
Yeah.
that? That's really. That was a really good video.
we were
You know,
going to
showing
talk
showing
about it.
those regular people like going about their business in the midst of all that nonsense. I thought that was really.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was.
they're
really
all around all these beautiful people.
But
and
they don't step outside of their lifestyle. Like if all that wasn't going around them, you wouldn't have known. Like that was the coolest part. I thought.
It
about
was a great video
They
to
They just
get, us,
continued on
to
being
get us to realize
Normal around all
everybody's
that
beautiful.
not normal stuff.
Everybody's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was. It was like embrace.
You don't
what's
have to
regular.
have lots of money and lots of makeup and beautiful legs to be a beautiful
And
person.
they were just
That's
regular.
what that's
people.
all about.
Very regular.
But
people.
speaking of beautiful people, this is Ed Sheeran with Yeah, Cabello. And yeah, and then this even has rap at the end with Cardi B. But
No
this,
Cardi B fan.
but this is neither am I. But Ed had to throw tons of rap into this album, and it's well done.
Yeah, it
You
is
know,
really.
when I like rap is when they're singing. Also,
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
clear back to Alicia Keys in the New York song.
Yeah.
I love that, and
Yeah.
I don't know who the rapper is on it.
Jay-Z.
But what a great song. And that's
small,
why
small
you're
guy. You
here.
might not know it.
That's why you're
I might
here.
have never heard
But
of
I've been to New York, and I loved listening to that song while I was there.
Yeah,
On my iPod.
that is a good song.
Yeah. I love Alicia Keys, by the way. And her legs go clear to her butt.
Really, everyone's legs go there.
How do you feel about Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, her legs go clear to her butt.
They might go higher.
She's stenciled.
He's so skinny. This song's a little bit dirty, though.
I don't care. I think I might like dirty songs. As long as they got a good
Talk
looking
about-
woman
yeah.
in them.
They got nice legs.
It's really good though. It's super catchy.
You know, back to Ed, sometimes he thinks he's quite a misfit and he gets really disconnected. He'll even wake up and he'll look over at his now wife and he'll think, why do you even want to be with me? I'm just like a nobody. You're really cool. You know, and I think it's pretty interesting that someone as far into the, you know, and then the other thing about that song, Shape of You, Ed was already a superstar, but that song turned him into a multi-mega star, and he said all of a sudden his anxiety just got crazy, because before he kind of had a life.
Yeah.
He could go out, he could do things. Now, everywhere he went, like if he went to a restaurant, people were filming him, and he felt like an animal in a zoo, and his anxiety started getting really bad, and that's why he had to get that house you're talking about in the middle of England, in the middle of nowhere, so he had some privacy.
So he can be himself.
And get his mind together.
Yeah.
Well, if they screw up his music making, I'm gonna be pissed. Everyone out there, you knock it out.
So this is the next cool song on the album called Cross Me.
Now again, this is probably more my flavor. Chance the Rapper on this song. Really good.
But who's the other person on it? I'll tell you, P&B Rock.
Oh, okay. He must be the producer of it.
They call this song explicit, but they've thrown the nasty words in so well that I think we're going to be able to play it.
Oh, nice.
Because I couldn't tell if they were really
Because I
swear
couldn't
words.
hear it.
Oh, there's one in the rap later. It's noticeable.
Well, we might have to click it before that, but this is a cool song. It's kind of talking about, hey, that's my girlfriend. If you're crossing her, you're crossing me, which means I'm gonna beat you up.
See, now, I don't necessarily identify with the girl part of the song. He says something about the seed, so I always think about my kids when I think about this song. So now that my kids, and you know,
it does
I'm a
talk
divorced
about.
man.
Well,
I always think, you know, if some guy ever comes around my kids,
you're
he
right.
better be on his P's and Q's. I'll play this song for him. Remind him where he needs to
Shut it.
keep it. Yeah.
All right. Well, Larry said, if you cross her, you're crossing me. That's how I got the girlfriend. But I have definitely read the lyrics and
See, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
About,
I always
it could
thought
be
it was
his
about his
daughter.
daughter.
It could be his
That's
daughter.
what I thought, but it's hard
Chance the
to.
Rapper?
It's the whole chorus.
Well,
But Chance the Rapper's daughter?
I don't know
well,
whose daughter.
yeah. Now this song,
I just don't know where you get the seed if it's not your kid.
This song is called "Take Me Back to
metaphor.
London,"
Oh, I like this one.
and I was just gonna skip over it. Kirbstop
Oh,
likes
it's
it.
okay.
No,
It's just-
wait, I gotta say who else is on it besides Ed Sheeran. It's Pete Stormzy. No, featuring Stormzy. There we go. Lighting is bad. If I turned on more lights, it'd get
We
too
need
hot
more
in here.
lights.
Feet.
Next.
My
I
favorite
need
person.
more light inside my brain. I actually don't know much. Oh, well, that's been documented already in this podcast. All right, this is the mellow song on the CD, and it's been released as a single already. It's called Best Part of Me. Probably become big. It's featuring Yeba.
Okay, some yabba.
It might be about me. Said his hair's getting thin and falling out.
Oh boy.
There's reasons I wear caps. That's why I'm not Captain Kirk. I'm Cap'n Kirk, like Cap'n Crunch. Although he's way cooler than me. He's got his own cereal and his own Navy.
Yeah.
I like him.
Why did I read somewhere that he's not actually a captain, he's like a general or something?
Oh, should I
Yeah,
switch to General Kirk?
Probably.
I don't know, maybe someone made that up and put it on the internet for me to read.
You know what? It's probably his hat. He has a really cool hat.
Yeah.
I like his
I think
hat.
you're supposed to count how many stars you're on.
Ah.
Lieutenant. Wait, Lieutenant.
Well, this song's bumming me out. It's a great song, but it's mellow. Switch. Because I don't care.
See, now I like this one too.
Well, I don't care.
Dang it. Thought you were good.
I don't care. That's the name of this song. I do care that you like this song. This is a cool song. And actually, Ed has a good version where he's just singing with his guitar, no beatster.
No
And
beat.
it's good.
No, I
It's
like the
good.
beat.
It's good. It's on Sirius Radio.
I like the beat.
But we got to have the beat part. Now, the video's good to this. The two of them are
Just goofing off.
yeah, but they're wearing weird stuff.
And they go through kind of like, it's like CGI
Yeah, but they don't.
craziness. And
Yeah.
like people are kind of making the character do weird things, right?
Oh yeah.
And so they're performing the goofy acts.
At one time, poor Ed's head's on the body of a bikini babe. Lots of times he's wearing a panda outfit. Beebs is looking weird. Of course, that's not hard for Beebs, is it? But
Well, Haley likes it,
he's-
so.
yeah. It's actually a really good video for those of you that are listening to us. By the way, you might be listening to us down near Atlanta on 99 Rock the Key. We love you guys. And we're glad you listen to our podcast.
Sweet, I can't wait.
Right below Atlanta. Okay, so
I'm gonna go there tomorrow.
Hey, town what?
A-Town up.
yeah, right.
Wait.
I said what?
A-Town.
This
A-Town
one's
down.
called
Peace
Antisocial.
up. Hey, town down.
Yeah.
This one
Ooh.
is featuring Travis Scott.
Oh, that, you can definitely hear the Travis Scott.
Kylie's boyfriend.
Who?
That real.
Kylie who?
Jenner.
I don't know her.
Oh my god.
I've never heard of her. Is she like...
She's a billionaire.
Oh, well, that might be why I don't know her. I don't watch Kardashians.
She's not a Kardashian, she's a Jenner. I'm just kidding.
You're getting really picky with me at Kirbstop. And if you get pickier, you'll probably do your deal and stomp
Boy, I'm
me
gonna
into a
have
curb.
to
So
add this to my Spotify, like right now.
I'll tell you what this song's about while you're adding it to your Spotify.
There's Antisocial, right?
Yeah. And Ed has social anxiety. And it's gotten way worse since Shape of You. And so they're going, don't touch me, don't touch me. You know, people will be walking by a movie star. I gotta touch your hair.
I think that is so
You know,
weird.
I have worked for Bruce Willis. And but I left him alone.
Yeah.
And one time, him and Demi Moore showed up at one of my jobs, which was his job.
Yeah.
And a guy I was with said, I gotta go get his autograph. And it's like, you leave him alone.
This is him
Most people
escaping.
that worked at that job day in, day out for months never saw him. This was a Sunday. He was driving down an alley. He looked over. Oh my heck, my job's open. And he and his friends and Demi got out. And I was heading in to do my work. And I was like, I said hello. And then I walked back to my truck and gave him some time.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. These people need to get
I just don't
they're-
know why it's okay to touch people. Like,
Yeah.
that's not okay.
So it's saying, don't touch me. But anyway, I want to tell you a little. Ed has come out and just recently talked about his social anxiety. He says, I can talk to people that I don't know and get into conversations. But then when they go, can I take a picture of you at the end of the conversation? Then he feels like a zoo animal or like not human. He was talking to him. He didn't want, and I remember in that, he says one guy came up to him and said, I really liked your last album, and then walked away. And it was like, I liked that. That was cool, So you just,
you can be a fan and not be a psycho.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're
hard-
famous, so
hard
we
to-
get it.
Hard to say. I mean, when people come up to me, I'm still okay with it.
I'm like, yeah, I'll see.
But now that you're going to be famous for being on our podcast, and and we're going to have your picture out there, people are going to be wanting to touch you and stuff. So,
Especially
anyway.
like Kylie Jenner.
yeah. So anyway, Ed says, though, that getting out there alone in his place with his wife, and he has 4 friends. He hangs out with them continually. They go everywhere with him. But when he says doing that is helping him with this social anxiety that he's been talking about. So we're on Remember the Name.
Tell you what, Ed, if you need somebody to brush people off here, you call me, buddy.
This features that guy that eats lots of M&Ms and 50 Cent. And it's explicit. So we're going to switch before something explicit happens. This is a weird one called Phil's, featuring some Young Thug and J Hus.
I've heard this recently, though.
The thing about these songs, I mean, there's already 5 of these songs that have been released as singles.
It's
and
funny.
they aren't even some of the best ones.
It's not even over a month old, really.
It's
almost
only
feel like, gosh,
it's only 2.5
song already
weeks
put out.
old. But some of the singles have been out longer, like Beautiful People and
I don't care.
I don't care.
yes, but I don't care.
Cross me, I've had that. I haven't slept at all. I was
Click it, buddy, boy.
Click away, Clicky.
Clickster. This is called Put It All on Me. I can't read because they've got every word is in a different font. I'm sorry, but that's a fancy word anyway. Font, right? Okay. Featuring Ella Mai.
I like I don't know, it just like kind of feels like old school kind of. I can't think of the word. Just like that beat right there just kind of like flashes back to the early 2000s-ish to me.
All I know is if you have this trap beat nowadays, you definitely know it's post 2010 music.
By the way, I didn't introduce this album very good. It's called Number 6 Collaborations Project. And I thought that was weird because it's only like his 4th album. But he did, before he really had any albums, he had his number 5 collaborations, which he put out himself. So in all fairness, it makes lots of sense.
Yeah.
If you're a true Ed fan,
Yes,
And you know that.
which we all are now.
Yeah.
Because that's why we're doing a podcast. Okay, so the next song, this is called Nothing on You. It features Paulo Londra and Dave. Good old Dave.
oh man, I really like Dave.
Dave, did you bring the stuff? Dave,
Yeah,
is that you?
that sounds like the guy that is running the party accessories. How did we put Dave on the song?
I'm pretty sure that on a Cheech and Chong movie, it was Dave that was supposed to be bringing the stuff, knocking on the door. Is that you, Dave? I don't know. That was so long ago.
Dave's still bringing the good stuff.
Yeah. These days,
Ooh, I like this.
Dave's stuff's legal in a lot of places, but not here, so I'm not going to talk about it. All right, so he's got nothing on you. Let's switch now to
Bruno's.
I Don't Want Your Money.
Yeah.
Actually, I do want somebody's money. If anybody has spare
If
money,
anybody's like
And
dying and they're rich,
yeah,
just write
and,
me in their
and they
will.
want us to do more podcasts, we just need some money.
Yeah.
My
We don't
kids
care
need
what-
new shoes.
If we
They
could
definitely
get
don't have
paid.
shoes.
This is only podcast 21, but we could do them once a week if you send us money. So we do want your money.
Yeah, I'm looking for a reason to move. So.
Yeah, and we found you the place to move
There's a
to.
house just down the street. It's really nice.
It's
not
actually,
even too much.
yeah.
We could let's turn it into our studio. I don't care. There's plenty of land in the back.
There is a nice basement in that would be good for a studio.
Oh, man. All right, callers.
And he doesn't want your money, but we do. All right, switch to 1000 Nights. Featuring Mink Mill and a boogie. Oh, I like this. How am I going to say it right? A Boogie with the Hoodie.
Oh, a boogie with a hoodie?
Yeah, there you go.
Man, boogie with a hoodie's hot right now.
Is he? I've
He's
never
like
heard
a
of
young,
him.
he's a young Brooklyn rapper, man. He's from,
I am so glad you came, man.
he's from the original.
I am not a rapper.
hip-hop
I mean,
birthplace.
Yeah. Brooklyn,
But,
Utah.
That drowning.
although some people say I should be wrapped in newspaper and just shipped off to somewhere. But, right, Rick?
That is correct.
What?
Thank goodness.
Boogie with the Hoodie was in jail?
No, Meek Mill.
Meek Mill was in jail.
Oh.
But he luckily got a lot of high-profile friends. They got him out.
Did
Yeah,
Ed
thanks
get him
to
out?
Josh.
It didn't take Ed. It took the guy from the Patriots. I don't know how the guy from the Patriots. somehow
You
was
mean
that.
Grady?
No, it was the owner, Robert Kraft.
Oh,
Maybe
well,
maybe Meek had something on Robert Kraft, and maybe that's why Robert Kraft had such a special interest.
yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Speaking of special interests, we better not
Maybe-
talk about poor old Robert anymore.
But anyway, Robert got into getting Meek Mill out of jail last year. I remember it was the thing.
Well, that's cool.
He got to show up at like the Philadelphia 76ers basketball game. Yeah. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. He
We
made
missed
that
you.
playoff game.
I'll tell you, this
He might not have won
album,
that game.
I thought at first, I was like, oh my gosh, Ed does so much rap. This album grew on me, and I will be listening to it more.
Yeah.
But they aren't gonna know how many times Cap'n Kirk listens to it, because I play it in my
He's playing
pickup.
original CDs.
I play CDs, people. I just bought
He's off
Eddie's
the grid.
Live, and I have not
That's how you
played
live
it.
off the grid.
That's
I have not played it, but it's here, and if you were watching me, I could show you it, and it's not been unwrapped.
He's old school counting it with a clicker.
Yes. Speaking of clickers, click that baby.
Come on, Jimmy, click it.
This is Way to Break My Heart, featuring Skrillex.
Ooh. Not as, I don't know Skrillex as much, but
Yeah.
I thought you were
Skrillex,
going to give me the proper pronunciation.
Skrillex has not been around for a while, I feel like.
no, it's not nothing I'm familiar with
Yeah.
yet. But
Well,
I'll
he's
work on
probably going to have a hit now.
Yeah. Seriously, I haven't listened to Skrillex since like 2012.
I never listened to Skrillex, believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
Well, now this last song that we're going to feature is called Blow. And it's with
Wow.
a couple
it.
little
What a good
guys.
song,
It's like with Bruno Mars and Chris Stapleton.
Oh, I love Chris.
I've never heard of them guys.
man. This is like this is your
This
stuff.
is a
This is like a
screamer.
rock song.
Yeah.
This is a rock song. And
I've never heard it.
I
do
assume
anything like
maybe
this.
Bruno Mars dances to it. Otherwise, why have him on it?
Stapleton's on that Justin
Right?
Timberlake song. Oh, I love that.
Wow. Wow, this is a different song.
This is a rocker.
Wow.
Just
And,
shows that he can do anything he wants.
and
really.
this is an up and coming
This
hit
is his world. We're all just
because Sirius Channel 15's been playing it. So this is going to be a hit. Those guys know what's going to be a hit before it is one. And there's your kicker, Sirius 15.
You're welcome.
Yes. So we're so glad you listened to our podcast. And the next one is going to be rock and roll all the way. We don't know who, but our last one was Pink, who rocked. Her last album rocked. And this album was great, but next one's going to be a rock band. We don't know who yet.
I sure don't want
So-
to invite it back.
So keep listening out there on
Got a suggestion.
99 Rock the Key, just below Atlanta, Noonan, Georgia. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace out. Peace out.
And Boston was here. Sorry I didn't introduce you, Boston.
Possible.